Hi, my name is Dr. Robert Antlack at thegentledentist.com. We're located in Shelby, Township, Michigan, and our phone number is 586-247-3500. What I'd like to talk about today which is something that obviously has been a part of me, what I've been doing dentistry for the last 24 years, is the fear of the dentist. Dentistry is a very fearful place. That's why we're thegentledentist.com. It's something that I have an appreciation for with the people who come in here who give me the opportunity and the pleasure to serve them. It's through our office that we try to make a difference, okay? And we do that by people who've been putting off dentistry for years and years because of the fear that develops and lives within them from the dentist. I'd like to just to address a couple of those issues. One would be some really bad childhood experiences. For example, a dentist, I've had stories of people, dentists who slapped them, who yelled at them, who didn't listen to them when they were having fillings done and their teeth were hurting them, and they were saying it hurt, and they just ignored it and they finished doing that. So from me to you, I apologize for those really bad experiences that have taken place if they've had in childhood. Now with more modern, compassionate techniques that we do at our office, that I do, I would like to invite you in so we can help you deal with those issues that have taken place. You know, there's a few things that come in with that. Is we find number one is having someone who they're going to trust. It's all about trust. It's all about having some compassion on the issues that are going on. Many times they have to do with bad childhood experiences. For example, we've talked about the childhood experiences. For example, there's a certain amount of space that's required with people so they feel comfortable. Normally when we're a nice distance away, people feel comfortable with that. Then the closer that we encroach upon their personal space, it's in those moments that people start getting a little bit more nervous. And so when we get closer and closer, and then we ask you to open your mouth up and then get into a situation where we're in your very vulnerable, most personal space called your mouth, that's going to create a lot of anxiety for people. And so I don't assume that we're going to be able to do that without your permission. Okay? The reason why the mouth is so sensitive is that it's very personal. You know, people don't always see in there, and a lot of times it's an avoided space. And because we use sharp instruments, and if you don't trust what we're going to do, then you make yourself very vulnerable to those potential issues that have taken place. So we try to work through it and talk to you about it. One other important thing in our office that we're going to do is we're going to talk to you first before we actually make that appointment and we sit you down. Or before I do that, we're going to talk to you. I try to make my phone calls even before your first visit to see how we can do to help you make your visit more comfortable. And that first call is very inviting to many people who have this level of fear. So this lack of control that people have is very intimidating, and sometimes we need to just work through it like I discussed. We're constantly thinking about the need to go, and the problem is when someone's always thinking about their desire to go, they need to go, I need to go to the dentist, I need to go to the dentist, and that their fear overcomes them, then they beat themselves up. And so that's really a problem that develops within the psyche of our patients. And many times you find that that phone call I just referred to helps to invite them in to make that stepping into that office a more comfortable experience, because then they get to know who I am, and then I get to know who they are. And so the question is, how are we different? We're going to listen to your needs, find out what's there. We want to become your friend. Our office staff is very friendly here. We try to make it a good experience for you, as good as possible. And I'm not going to start before we're ready to just move in. I'm going to make sure that there's a relation developed enough so that you're going to trust that we're going to do. I'm also going to inform you of what is being done so there are no surprises. I'm going to make sure that you really, really have a good understanding of what we're doing. And if there's, for example, if there's a time when there might be some sensations that's uncomfortable, I'm going to warn you ahead of time. I'll say, okay, right now you're going to feel something. And that way that person's prepared for that. I try to really limit that amount. I can tell you that when I was in dental school, a sophomore in dental school. That's about 26 years ago that my instructor said, you know, if you want to do a good job with your patients in your future, he said, numb yourself up right here in the front. And I did. And I realized why it hurts. So since that time, I just make sure that if I'm going to try something new, I do it on myself first, as far as anesthetic goes, and then I have some compassion and understanding about that experience. So since then, I inject very slowly. We use topical anesthetic before we give the injection, and that helps eliminate that picking sensation that you're going to get. So, and number one is you always have the ability to stop me at any time whenever we're doing something to make sure you're feeling comfortable and relaxed. And for those who have that high level of uncomfortableness and fear, we use sedation dentistry, which helps just to relax you. It's a little pill that you take. You come in, you're relaxed. A lot of times no memory of the experience, which is really great. And sometimes we'll just use gas or nitrous oxide. So thank you. If there's any questions you may have, you can call us up at the office at 586-247-3500 or visit our website at thegentledentist.com. Thank you. Have a blessed day.